what is this? Part 4, part 5, part 10. I had to take some breathing breaks after recording that one. Like I mentioned in the previous videos, if you see me sitting in the same spot, wearing the same stuff, I'm sure you could see by the previous video even the discussion of what was going on. I'm still processing. But we're getting to the worst of it. We're getting there. Don't know how I'm gonna do for that. So yeah, where we left off was after the MRI. All this while having an IV in my arm, and walking with that damn thing that goes deet deet. Like, this was now the Tuesday around 4 in the morning. Because the surgeon had come back. He had said from the CT scan and the MRI scan that my entire small intestine and my bowel was fully inflamed, and he said that my anemia was really bad because my iron was low, because apparently for women your iron is supposed to be 12. Mine was 5.8. So the nurse lady that was laying across from me said, "It's a miracle you can still walk around." And I said to her, which is very sad, but I said, "Well, I'm actually kind of used to it." And she was like, "So you're used to feeling tired?" I was like, "Yeah, kind of am." So it's not a good thing. Didn't know that it was low, but so they were supposed to give me iron. And when the male nurse injected something into the IV, I almost screamed. And he was like, "Is it paining?" I said, "It's flippin' painful. It's not supposed to be painful. Take it out." Because I had learned already the previous time that they said if an IV hurts, it's not supposed to hurt. They need to take it out. He takes out the IV, puts it in my hand. Keep in mind, all this time that I'm in hospital, it's getting closer to the due date of my anthropology exam essay. I had already done about 800 words the Friday. Don't know how I got that done, but I had already completed that. That Friday I had done, the Thursday I had done all my references. I went through all of my articles that we had done for the module, so I had written down all my references so that it was there, so if I referenced from it I could just type it. But I had already completed 800 words, so I still had about 1,200 words left, which was just 2 paragraphs, and the due date was the 2nd. This stuff was happening the Tuesday, so my essay was due the Thursday, and I was trying to stay calm. But I had brought my laptop with me to the hospital because, best believe, even if I was in writhing pain, I was gonna get that damn thing done. I had worked too hard to get into this course for these few years now, to just get into this damn course. I was not gonna let anything ruin any of it to make me go through it again. Because I mean, I've fought tooth and nail to get into this damn course. Anyways, so puts the IV into my right hand, and it was the same arm where I had the tendinosynovitis. So I was so drugged, I just let him put it in my hand. I didn't even know he was doing it until I looked, and the needle he put in was so long. And when he put that needle in my hand, it was very strange. He put the needle in, pulled it back a bit out, and then put it deeper in my hand. And that hurt like hell. This is now all like 4, 5 in the morning. I'm now realizing I was wrong. This just tells you how I was processing, because as I'm talking about it, my head is so sore. Because I've been in denial for a few days, trying not to think about it. And I actually got one of the details wrong. I had the CT scan. Running to the bathroom with the water falling was after the MRI, yes. But they did the MRI that morning because that's why there was a strange pink thing in the IV in my hand. I will include a picture. There was a strange pink thing included on my hand where they could just open and put whatever liquid they had to put in through there. Because yes, even though they made me drink an entire jug of liquid, they still had to inject dye into my IV. And that fiddled with the needle, even though it was already sore. I remember looking at my hand, and because I was speaking to my mother, and I said, my hand is so sore. I just looked at my hand, and it had swollen to the size of a golf ball. And it was hard, and it was painful, which meant it went into tissue. So they had to take that out. And because I still had to get iron, I still had to get all kinds of stuff, I still needed an IV. And because I was so severely dehydrated, because till then I still hadn't eaten, I was still in so much pain. I had pain episodes throughout the day that I couldn't eat, because the one morning I had, and I think it was that morning, I had like 2 tablespoons of oats, and I had a pain episode immediately after that. But because I was so severely dehydrated, they struggled to get, even though they could find the vein, it's like the veins were too weak to hold the IV. So when they injected the IV again into the other vein on my left arm, immediately hurt like hell, was starting to swell, was starting to turn blue, so they had to take it out. Tried on my right arm. Again, immediately hurt like hell, starting to turn blue. Had to take it out. By that point, I just wanted to take the IV bag and shove it down my mouth, because I had had enough of needles at that point. So in the very corner of my arm was the only place that the IV would have stayed. And by corner, which you might be confused by in the book, is like here. So this is where it bends, right there, that vein. It's the only spot where the IV would have stayed. So that's where the IV was. And I just kept looking at these blue marks on my arms, swollen mark on my hand, and I couldn't, my brain, like, it didn't want to accept everything that had happened until that moment. It didn't want to accept that it was probably in shock. Rightly so. So they gave me more fluids. They gave me more pain meds, but that was towards the evening side. I couldn't eat. I didn't want to. I was in too much pain. That was the evening. So the Wednesday morning, I had felt good because that evening I was sucking on ice because my throat was so sore from the constant throwing up that it's like I couldn't even swallow water. It was like there was something blocking it, even though there wasn't. So swallowing water, it would like stop because I wasn't used to it anymore. You know, you're used to the things going that way, not that way. And so I was sucking on ice because I knew that I needed to get water in my body because my lips were, how can I say, they were almost flat. They were that dehydrated. And it helped. And it eventually got me used to it to be able to drink water. So that was a good thing. So the next morning, I felt great. I felt amazing. I think that was the Wednesday. Yes, I felt wonderful, ready to go home. I typed my essay, and yes, I typed my anthropology essay in a hospital bed. I don't care. I did it. I submitted it. It is sorted. Gave me peace of mind because then that was finished. But after seeing the physician, she said that I would have to still stay there another 2 days because they wanted to see how I react to oral medications like tablets and stuff. But I still had the IV in my arm, which didn't make sense to me. They stopped IV medication completely, but they kept the IV in my arm. It made me very angry. And I remember we were waiting and we were asking when they're gonna do this tablet thing. But they had given me this pain medication injection that morning, where they inject you in the buttocks. So I had already had needles all over my arm, so they had to include another body part. So they injected me there, but they hadn't done an anti-nausea one, so it made me nauseous and it had me completely out of whack.
Like, my heart was beating like crazy. I could barely see, everything was so blurry. I couldn't walk.
Because they said you have to lay down. It's a sedative pain thing. But I needed to pee. So I wasn't gonna lay. So they helped me to the bathroom, back, and eventually I passed out. So when I woke up, my mother had already been speaking with the dietitian, and she had confirmed that the medication that I was supposed to start taking, that the doctor wanted to see how I react to it. This now the physician, not the surgeon, wanted to see how I react to it. They were only gonna give to me at 6 p.m. and it was already 1 o'clock the afternoon. So the dietitian recommended supplements. That these supplements have like vitamins in, they have protein in, all kinds of stuff. But she said that the one was more filling, and I was starving at that point. So she went to fetch some ice to go with it, but I mean, I was so hungry, I drank the whole thing. And then, for lack of better terms, shit got real fast. Because I just remember it felt like it was laying in my stomach. It wasn't digesting, it wasn't breaking down, it wasn't going anywhere. It was just laying there. And I remember it started to burn, and it didn't happen all at once, it happened gradually. So first it started to burn, so I was pacing up and down, just trying to get my body moving and trying to do some stretches because I was like, okay, just get this burn away. What happened next was out of all of it, it was the was the scariest freaking thing that I had experienced in my life. I knew this was gonna make me cry. I don't like crying. Whew, bear with me. So this is the part that like my mind hasn't processed. I remember the pain once I do not want to cry. Oh. Once the burning got to a certain point, the pain hit immediately, and it felt like something had hit me so hard that it was like it hit all the air out of my lungs. I don't like crying. If I think back to it, I just see myself the way I was laying, and I hate crying. I absolutely hate crying. Ugh, I don't like it. I'm not saying people shouldn't cry. I'm just saying I hate crying. It gives me the ick. I hate crying. I just control yourself. I remember I was standing at the side of the bed. My mother was sitting on a chair at the other side, and I was laying, chilling on the bed, but I was still standing. I knew this part was gonna make me cry. I knew it. I just remember when the pain hit, my body, I was twisted on the bed, and I wasn't standing anymore. I was laying on the side, and I just remember I was twisted, and I couldn't breathe. I don't like crying. I really, really don't like crying. And this lighting is making me look funny. Sounds stupid, but I thought that was it. I really thought that was I hate crying. I thought that was it because it was it felt like I was never gonna breathe again. I don't like crying, so I'm kind of annoyed with myself right now. I just remember I was reaching out for my mom's hand and I was in so much pain. I couldn't get any air in. Next thing I remember, a bunch of nurses came in because my mother was pressing the button, and it's probably about 4 or 5 nurses that stood around the bed and were just looking at me. Weren't helping, doing anything. They were just looking at me. And the head nurse, head sister, she's bloody amazing. She came in, saw what was happening, but that's before the nurses came in. So she went to first ask the doctor if she could give me something on her IV because she was so panicked. She didn't like that this was now happening, but the doctor said only oral medication. So when she came, she brought the tablets, but then she said she thinks that I'm probably having an anxiety attack on top of what was happening. So she went to fetch anxiety meds as well. So when she came back, the doctors were just standing looking at me, and she was very upset because they had not done a thing while she was gone, and I still couldn't breathe. So she had them lay me properly because I was still twisted at that point. She had given me the medication and she had given me the water to drink with it, and she was coaching me through it, telling me that, you know, that you just take it slow, get your breathing right, you need to just focus, stay calm. I remember hearing my mom's voice. There was so many people around me that I couldn't even see the people around me. I don't like crying. I really don't. I couldn't see the people around me. I couldn't see anything. I could just see the ceiling. But I could hear my mom's voice. And it sounds so stupid. But what was going through my head was God, please don't please don't do this to my mom. I couldn't have her see me like that. Whew, I knew I was gonna cry. But yeah, so the head sister, she helped me and helped my breathing. Just need to get through it. They gave me the medication, they helped me with the breathing, and that same medication they gave in the morning that knocked me out, they gave it to me again in the evening because we knew it would help with any pain. And I said to my mother that when the medication hits and I start to get sedated, I wanted to eat as much as I can, because even though I would be in pain, that medication was strong enough to still knock me out afterwards. So it was a very good idea. I had eaten what I could. I still couldn't swallow properly because my throat was still so sore, but I'd eaten what I could, drank as much liquids as I could before it knocked me out. Yeah. Still gonna do at least one more video. I will not be this emotional to explain what it was like coming home and what they did on the day that they had to discharge me. So yeah, sorry for crying so much. I'm a person that I'd rather cry alone. I don't like people see me cry, but it's my story and I had to tell it. So yeah.